Alright, for the second part of section 7, we are writing equations from the information that we have. So we want an equation line in this form, slope-intercept form. It tells us right here that we want a slope-intercept form. And remember, slope-intercept form is y equals mx plus b, and they're telling us what m and b are here. So in that case, we just simply plug in. M is -5, and b is also a negative number. So instead of plus a negative, we just write minus, and b is an eighth. And there it is. That's it. That's all we have to do because it wants it in slope-intercept form. So we just literally plug in, replacing m and b with what it says that they are. All right, now let's look at a little bit more complicated type problem. Those are all the same in those cases. We want an equation that has this slope, goes through this point, but it has to be in this form. So this is a little bit more complicated because we have to get into that ax plus by equals c form. I'm going to show you a couple ways to do this. So first, I'm going to use this equation. This is called point slope. Y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. And in this, m is the slope, and x1 and y1 are these coordinates of this point 5, 5. So we plug in everything that we have. Y minus the y coordinate here is 5 equals m is the slope here, which is 3, and then x minus x1 is also 5. So there is the equation in what we call point slope form. But we don't want it in point slope form. We want it in slope, this ax plus by equals c form of the standard form. So the first thing we need to do is distribute this 3 through to get rid of the parentheses, because there's no parentheses in that ax plus by equals c form. So we're going to have y minus 5 equals 3x. All right, 3 times x is 3x, and then 3 times -5 is -15. All right, and then I'm going to move this 5 over. I'm going to add 5 to both sides to temporarily get y by itself. So I have y equals 3x, and then a -15 plus 5 is a -10. But then the last thing I want to do, I want x and y together. Right now, x and y are on opposite sides. So to get them together, I need to add, or in this case subtract. I need to move the x term to the other side to join the y. So I end up with, on the left side over here, I end up with -3x plus y. All right, a -3x plus y. I'm writing it in that order because the x comes before the y in that ax plus by equals c form. And then equals, the only thing left on the right side is the -10. So there's our answer in that form that we have. So -3x plus y equals -10. And there's our answer. Now I want to show you a way that you can kind of use technology to help you here. If you are given you have a graphing calculator. If you are given a point and a slope, you can use technology to help you come up with the equation of the line, but the calculator is going to give you this equation, the y equals 3x minus 10. But again, all we did from there is just subtract the 3x over. But the way you do it, you have to go underneath the stat menu, stat, and then go to the editor. Okay, and if you have numbers in there, you can press up and clear, enter, and it'll clear out the list. Up, clear, enter. All right, and now what we're going to do is we're going to put in the point that they give us first, 5, 5. So 5 for x and 5 for y. Now, the slope is 3. All right, since the slope is 3, that means rise 3, run 1. Remember, we can write that as 3 over 1. So the rise 3, you rise in the vertical direction, the y direction. So since that's a positive 3, that means we're going to increase the y value, which was 5. We're going to increase it by 3. So if we increase 5 by 3, 5 plus 3 is 8. So the y value, the y coordinate was 5. The next y coordinate for the second point is going to be 8. Okay, now that was the rise. We rose 3 because of the slope. That's the change in y. And now the change in x, we rise 3, run 1. So 3 over 1. So we're going to add 1 to the 5. So we get a 6. Okay, so 5, 5 was the first point. We rose 3. We went up 3. We went right 1. We ran 1. All right, so we get those 2 points. Now, once you have 2 points, that's all you need to make a line. And the way that the calculator will do the line for you is under the Stat menu. So Stat, come over to Calculate, and then look for this right here, LIN reg. So linear regression. And notice it's got AX plus B. That's the same as MX plus B, but they're just using an A instead of an M. So either come down to 4 or just press 4, and then just hit Enter. And there's our 3 is A, so 3x plus negative 10, or 3x minus 10. So it would get you straight to there, and then one step away you would just subtract the 3x over. So you could use this, if your calculator doesn't display r squared and r, don't worry about it. All you need is the values for A and B when you do that. All right, let's practice another one like that with the calculator and see if we can kind of use that to kind of cut to the chase. All right, so let's go to Edit, clear your list for 1, scroll over, press up, highlight the list, clear, Enter. All right, and then just type the numbers in. So the very first thing on the top on both L1 and L2 are going to be your x and y coordinates. So negative 9 goes in there, and negative 4 right there. Okay, now the rise is negative 8, so that means we're going to subtract 8 from this. So you can literally type in, the old coordinate was negative 4, and we're going down 8, so minus 8. And it'll do it for you. Okay? And then we're going to run 1, so this increased by 1, so negative 9 plus 1. Okay? And there's that number. So again, I took the original y coordinate, negative 4, and I added negative 8, or you can think of it as just subtracted 8, because we went down from this point. All right, this is the point on the line. The slope says go down 8 and right 1 to get to the next point. So we went down 8 and then right 1 means increase x by 1. So there's your 2 points. Go to Stat, Calculate, Lin Reg, which is option 4 again. So there's our numbers. Negative 8x minus 76. So from right there, there's what the calculator is telling me the equation is. And then I'm going to add 8x to both sides because we want, once again, we want x and y together. So I'm going to rewrite this with x first. So 8x plus 1y, or just plus y, equals, again, the only thing over here on the right now is the negative 76. So 8x plus y equals negative 76. We would just write it in there exactly like that. 8x plus y equals negative 76. Okay, so you can use your calculator to help with these types of problems, and you have to write it in a different form than the mx plus b that we're used to seeing. All right, what if they give me 2 points with no slope? Well, if you can do one of 2 things here. You can find the slope using the slope formula. All right, m equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and then just plug in. So y2, the second y coordinate is 4, minus the first y coordinate was 9, over x2, the second x coordinate was 2, minus the first x coordinate was 3, and then we subtract. So 4 minus 9 is negative 5, 2 minus 3 is negative 1, and then negative divided by negative is a positive 5. So our slope is 5, and now we can use either point, 2, 4 or 3, 9, with that slope and do the exact same thing we've been doing these last couple problems. So y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1, and just plug in the 5 for m, and then you pick the point that you want to use. We have 2 points, both are on the line, so it doesn't matter which one we pick. They'll both give us the same line. So I'm going to pick 2, 4. So the 4 is the y-coordinate, and the 2 is the x-coordinate. Okay? And then I'm going to distribute the 5 through just like we did a couple of problems ago. So y minus 4 equals 5 times x. It's 5x minus 2 times 5 is 10. Add the 4 over. And then I've got y equals 5x. Negative 10 plus 4 is negative 6. Last thing, group your x's and y's. So I have to subtract that 5 over. 5x, that is. Okay, so it's a negative 5x. It's a positive y. And that equals, only thing left over there on the right is negative 6. Negative 5x plus y equals negative 6. Again, your calculator can help a lot with this. If you have one of these calculators, these line problems are easy to use. You don't even have to clear this out. I've been clearing it out. You can actually just start typing in the numbers. So 3 is the first x-coordinate. 9 is the first y-coordinate. 2 is the second x-coordinate. And 4, second y-coordinate. So once we have the 2 points in there, stat, calculate, linear regression. There's our 5 and minus 6. So 5x minus 6 for y. Okay, so I would have gotten straight to this point and then subtracted the 5x over if I would have done it with the calculator helping me.